Hey guys, Joe McDonough here with CageSidePress.com talking to PFL, who will be fighting this weekend, or this Friday, not Friday, but Tyler Diamond. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. How are you, Joe?
I'm good. I appreciate talking to you, man. I know we've been planning this interview and we talked about, well, you'll have plenty of time in that 17-day quarantine. You're still in it the last couple of days. Tell me about it. What's been keeping you sane? And has it just been the fact that you have a fight coming up?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's getting this win, getting 2 checks, getting back in there after a freaking long layoff. So that's plenty of motivation in of itself right there.
And talk to me about that long layoff. 2020 was a bizarre year, I guess, for a lot of fighters. And a lot of fighters, had maybe one fight, maybe none. It was just a very weird year. Tell me through Tyler Diamond's 2020.
Well, I signed with PFL back in like February or March of 2020. Mm-hmm. So pretty much I signed with the assumption of like, hey, I'm fighting here in like 2 months.
Exactly.
So I started preparing for that. And then a couple weeks after, I got word that the season was canceled basically. And it was a pretty big bummer at first, man. I kind of, questioned like, dang, like this really sucks. Like, why did I do this? But then I kind of pulled my head out and I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Like, I'm going to look at this as a positive. This gives me time to focus on my business, make my business better, become a better business owner. And I'll take this opportunity to really get better. So I think that's what I did, man. I was productive every single day, made a lot of really good business moves, and really paid attention to all the micro details of fighting. Micro details that sometimes you don't have time to focus on necessarily. So.
And talk me through signing with PFL. We saw you on The Ultimate Fighter. You fought in the finale, all this stuff. What was the big selling point? And I'm sure it had to do with the $1 million, but what was the big selling point for PFL when they contacted you?
It was 2 things. It was the money, like you pointed out, and the second thing was the fact that it's a season. Mm-hmm. Since I started fighting, my biggest complaint about fighting is like, I don't know exactly when I'm fighting, so I can't plan this trip, or I can't do this, or this and that. That really sucks. We don't get paid a ton anyway, but then when you throw on top of like, you can't really plan your life because you don't know when you're going to be fighting, that really sucks. With PFL, I know exactly when I'm fighting. So I already have plans like in this year, toward the end of the year, because I know exactly when I'm fighting. So that makes things super nice. I can actually commit to things now rather than, being all him-haw about everything.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about, a lot of fighters don't really have a life outside of fighting. I think that a lot of them say it's just training, it's just sparring, it's just fighting. Like you said, you're
Certainly.
a businessman too. Tell me about kind of having that with fighting, because that's a lifestyle on its own.
Totally, yeah. There's a lot of guys, and hey, that's great. Their one hobby is fighting. More power to you. Me, I don't enjoy fighting and training. I mean, I've been doing this my whole life, So for me, I'm almost more productive when I don't overtrain in a sense. And I have a lot of outside hobbies, like you mentioned. Like, I own a meal prep company, which has just been a joy for me and my wife. I love hunting. I love the outdoors. I just love being productive in general. So whatever I can do to be productive every single day I'm all about it. So this whole time, another thing that's really been keeping me busy here is I've had a ton of computer work that I haven't had time to do while in fight camp and having a baby for the business. So I really took advantage of my time, and I'm like months ahead on everything I got to do on the computer business wise. So I'm pumped about that.
That's always a good thing, and 2020 was a virtual year for most of us, so looks like for you too. And congratulations on the son. I saw that you had a son in 2020. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, thanks a ton, man. That has been a joy. I couldn't really understand why parents look forward to like going home with their family and kids. It's just something you don't really understand until you have a kid, and then and now especially since I've been here for 17 days, like, man, I just want to go home and hold my little boy,
Yeah. Tough. And talk to me about this Friday. The quarantine ends. So that may be one thing you're excited about, but I'm sure you're also excited to get in the cage and fight an opponent. Only the third time since 2018. Over a year. All this stuff. Talk to me what you're expecting Friday night.
Man, I'm expecting me to go in there and just be me and violent and look for the finish at every opportunity and just freaking grind this win out. I'll do whatever the hell I got to do to win. I got to bring home 2 checks. I've been on the sidelines so long, not fighting. I can't afford just to bring home 1 check. So I got to go in there and freaking just be me, man.
And with PFL, obviously, the finish gets the more points and all of this stuff. I'm sure that alters the game plan rather than just a normal fight in LFA or tough or anything else.
Totally.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really incentivizes you to get a finish, and with it only being a 4-man tournament now as well, like, number one, you have to win both of your fights, and number 2, you probably got to finish at least one of them to get in that tournament, to be realistic. So, yeah, man, I'm going to be gunning for the finish right from the start, and I'll be hunting that thing down, and, I'll be happy if I win, but I'll be extra happy if I'm able to get that finish and get it early.
And, the Ultimate Fighter was just announced. I believe they're starting shooting now, and it will be premiering in May, I believe. But tell me about your experience, The Ultimate Fighter. You were on season 27. Bryce Mitchell, Joe Giannetti, a bunch of great fighters. Tell me about your experience in the house and how different it is from what we see today with Contender Series. So many people just go the Contender Series route. And if you had that opportunity, which would you have chosen?
Yeah, so my experience was good. I went in super confident, thinking I was going to win the show. And heck, if it would have happened 100 times, maybe I would have won it 75, 90 times. Who knows? But things didn't work out for me. I didn't win the show, and it was a good opportunity at the time. I'm a guy who, when you get an opportunity, you have to take it. You don't let an opportunity pass itself. So whether your opportunity is to go on the Ultimate Fighter or Contender Series, whatever it may be, you got to take an opportunity. I mean, you only get so many opportunities in life for anything, right? So I do think the Contender Series is a better option. I mean, it's one fight. You have one good fight. You can get signed to a multi-fight deal. I mean, the Ultimate Fighter, you at least got 2 fights, So I think the Contender Series guys got it a little bit better, to be honest.
Absolutely, and they get their own coaches in there and everything, and not living in a house with cameras in their face, for 2 months and whatnot. Talk to me about Team Alpha Male, about this camp. What's been the biggest preparations?
Yeah, I mean, it's all my camps are fairly similar, in regards to I got a ton of different people to train with. So what's awesome about that is, whoever my opponent is, I have plenty of bodies to emulate that person. So that's always been good. Yeah, I mean, everything's the same. The team is riding high right now. It's better than ever. There's a lot of freaking guys that are super tough that no one even knows about that give me great rounds. So, yeah, man, the team's awesome. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And, it's nice that I live an hour and a half away. So it's just a Monday morning drive for me. Stay down there for a few days, come up, go back down. So it's really good. I'm happy there.
Do you have a prediction for us for Friday night?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna freaking try and TKO this guy in the first round. That's my prediction. I think I'm gonna put the pressure on him early, and I'm gonna catch his chin, like I've proven in many fights when I catch people in the first round. So
I look forward to it, man. And last one for me is the mullet staying all tournament? And if you win the tournament, will the mullet just stay forever?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. If I win this fight, the mullet will stay. If I was to lose, I'd probably just shave my whole head and be, all pissed off. But yeah, if I win the whole show, or the whole season, the mullet's staying for sure. And right now, it honestly looks like dog crap. I just got done training. I need to shave, but I got a freaking permit for this thing. I went and got a perm, so it looks freaking good when I throw some mousse up in it.
Yeah.
At least I think so. Some people might not, but I don't really care. So.
Well, Friday night we'll see it in action as with you, and I look forward to it, man. Tyler Diamond, everyone.
Right on. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, man. I'll put it out on Twitter. I'll probably put it out on